The Chase Bliss Audio Mood is a weird little box of wonders that's been out on the market for a couple months now. It's not a cheap pedal by any means, so it's definitely worth doing some research before you decide if you should buy it or not. Having spent a couple months with it myself, I've come up with a couple of things that might help you decide if it's right for you or not. Hi, I'm Josh Peavyhouse. Welcome to my dining room. So I bought the Chase Bliss Mood a couple months back, and it has been the most interesting pedal to learn and toy around with that I've ever gotten my hands on. But what is it really? Because just saying that it's a 2-channel granular delay / micro looper still leaves a little ambiguity as to what this thing is and what it's capable of. So Mood is split into two sections, the effects side and the looper side. These controls here in the middle affect both sides. There are also these dip switches here on top for even more control. The clock knob controls the sample rate and the recorded loop time, and mix controls the mix between the wet and the dry signal. For the effects, you have reverb, delay, and slip. The reverb here is really made by smearing a bunch of very short delays together. So the time knob controls the time of all the delays. And the modify knob smears the delays closer together or further apart. The delay is a looping delay, so adjusting the clock with the delay going can make for some interesting sounds. The time knob controls the delay time. And the modify knob controls the feedback. Slip is a buffer with an adjustable playback head. That means that it can play back the signal at different speeds from half to double. So the time knob controls the size of the buffer. And modify controls the playback speed and the direction. So the micro looper has 3 different settings. You have envelope, tape, and stretch. Envelope mode slices up your loop into different segments and loops on the current segment when it senses input. So here, length controls the size of the segments. And modify adjusts how sensitive it is to input. Tape is the most standard looping mode that Mood has. Length slices the loop into grains of different sizes, and modify sets the speed and direction of the loop from 4 times speed to half speed in either direction. Stretch time stretches the recorded loop and lets you focus on different sections of said loop. So length controls how much of your loop gets stretched, and modify controls how much stretching is done. Now, these two sides can play together as much or as little as you want them to. You can control if the effects work on just input, the input in the loop, or just on the loop. This makes it pretty easy to come up with textures, pads, or even some melody lines if you want to. Alright, so how do you decide if it's worth your money or not? The very first thing to ask yourself is, do you feel like taking the time to learn the pedal? If you like pedals that reward you for spending hours and hours sitting on your floor and toying with it, you'll love this. If you want something that's easy to use, that you can throw on your board and use with just about any song you'll play, there are probably cheaper alternatives out there that can get you where you're trying to go. Next, do you like making pads live? If you like creating lush, thick pads behind what you're playing live, Mood can do that fairly easily. And on the flip side of that, if you like making weird, glitchy textures to play behind you, you can make anything from bird chirps to angry or happy computer beeps. It's kind of up to you. Mood is very versatile like that. And lastly, do you like having the coolest pedal board in your band? If you like being the one who's got the coolest pedals, the most boutique, weird, off-the-wall pedals, this will feel right at home on your board. The cool boy factor is very high. Mood is just a really cool pedal. It's been a ton of fun for me to learn and mess around with, and I hope this video helped you decide if you want it or not. If you have any questions or thoughts about what I said, make sure to drop it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful day.